Your Honor, can I say one more thing?
See, now this is what I'm talking about. You be quiet. You're revoked. That's it. You're revoked. You know, I'm not going to sit around and listen to what they have to listen to all the time and you be non-compliant and disrespectful. It does not work in this court. You know, probation revocation, what does the Commonwealth have to say?
Well, he has a 3-year sentence on possession of drugs, degree. And Miss Meredith is here to testify in this case. Hillary Meredith.
Okay.
He's on Zoom.
Have you raise your right hand? Officer, you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, state your name with whom you're employed.
Hillary Meredith, employed with probation and parole in Metcalfe County.
You may proceed.
Miss Meredith, have you been supervising or attempting to supervise Christopher DeWeese?
Yes.
When did that begin?
12/15 of 2025.
Okay, and can you tell the court what's happened since that time as far as his failure to comply?
Yes. The issue has started on 12/16 of 2025. He was assessed by SSC Miller after a drug use. He was recommended to enroll in outpatient with Fuller Life Counseling. He completed his initial appointment with Fuller Life on 1/12/2026. But as of today, well, the date of the report, which was 2/24, she had advised, Keisha with Fuller Life advised that he had failed to show up for all of his other scheduled appointments. And then we've got failure to report. After his last use of meth, the SSC reassessed him on 2/12, recommended he enroll in IOP. He reported on 2/16 to do that IOP paperwork, but he refused to sign that paperwork that day. He had questions about it, so I offered for him to come back in the next day where we could explain that paperwork to him. However, when he came in, or he did not come in that next day, I had to call and try and get in touch with him. When I finally got in touch with him, I told him to come in, attempted to go over that paperwork with him. He wanted to argue the entire time. He was also drug tested that day and positive for meth. He denied meth use adamantly. We sent that to the lab for confirmation. In the meantime, the SSC told him to go ahead and do his IOP. But then on the 3rd of this month, his labs came back positive for meth.
Okay. Did he, once he was told to go back to the IOP, did he participate or was he arrested?
He was arrested for the labs coming back positive.
Okay. So the way I read this, he's had a positive test at Fuller Life, and then he had another positive test where he denied use. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And he was both argumentative with you, and was he argumentative with the SSC?
He was, and he was argumentative with Fuller Life as well.
Okay. And I think you put in your report, you said you spent the majority of your time arguing with him regarding SSC and IOP, and he's adamant he died having a drug problem, even though it's proven that he has had one.
That's correct.
And also you put in the report that he was confrontational. What did you mean by that?
Just arguing. He said that he didn't know why he had to do this. Continuing just to argue about the fact that he did not have meth in his system, even though, you know, the labs showed that he did have meth in his system. But that's mainly what he was confrontational about.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
Would you like to inquire?
Yes, sir. Officer Meredith, he began IOP at Fuller Life in December or in January?
He began in January. You said IOP, or was this outpatient or IOP? Did you say IOP?
I did say IOP, but he began outpatient as
He
well?
began outpatient on the 12th, and then he failed to keep those appointments.
Can I say something right here, please?
Hold on, Mr. DeWeese, you'll get a chance.
Okay, thank you.
Officer Meredith, this is your first time supervising Mr. DeWeese.
That's correct.
Okay. Did he ever call and indicate that he was sick for a period of time in January or February?
Did he ever call and what?
And indicate that he was sick in January or February?
Yes, he did mention being sick.
And on 2/24, you administered a urine drug screen at the office?
That's correct. It was Officer Bray.
Okay. Are you familiar with the process that was used?
For the drug test?
Yes.
Yes.
Did they use a brand new test sample cup?
We use a sample cup to make sure that we get enough sample in the cup before we open a brand new panel cup. But yes, and Mr. DeWeese was present during that.
And that sample cup, that was unused?
Correct.
Okay. And then that was sent to the lab?
That's correct.
Did you you also tested that on site?
Did we what?
You also tested that on site?
That's correct.
Okay. Is it possible that there are sometimes false positives that the lab picks up for other things other than methamphetamine? It's possible that it could test positive.
It's always possible.
Okay. And so did you have a personal conversation with Keisha Robbins with Fuller Life?
I did.
Okay. He went to his appointment on 2/26 and was there the entire time, correct?
On 2/26,
Yes.
I am not sure. I'd have to look.
I believe you advised that Mr. Luis came to his appointment on 2/26. He was confrontational.
Yes, that is correct. My apologies.
But you're not aware that the visit was cut short?
No, I was not aware.
Okay. Are you aware that Mr. DeWeese also has medical issues with his ankle currently?
Yes.
Okay. So just to recap, since December, he's had 2 positive drug tests total.
That's correct.
Okay. But he was tested more than 2 times during that period, and he has had clean tests during that time.
With us, he has only had 2. The first time he admitted use, he was positive at Fuller Life. The second time he was positive at our office.
Okay. But he's been tested on February 3rd or February 6th, and that was a clean test.
I don't recall a test on February 5th with us.
And then just one last question. This is Mr. Weiss's first time being on supervision. And so you did take the time to explain more of the paperwork and the IOP process to him, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And Mr. DeWeese, he asks a lot of questions.
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
No reason.
Okay, have you other witnesses?
I have no other witness.
You have any witnesses?
I'd like to call Mr. DeWeese.
Mr. Deweese, you raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony about to give us the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do, sir.
See,
Mr. DeWeese, can you state your name for the record?
Christopher Allen Deweese.
And can you kind of explain your side of the story beginning in December of what your understanding of outpatient and IOP?
I didn't understand none of it, to be honest. And on December 16th, I was given a drug test at your office, Miss Meredith, where it's clean. January 11th was the last day I used meth. And I can tell you that for 100% certain because of what Miss Keisha said to me. She said, Mr. Chris, I can't explain to you how you feel or what you're going through. I can walk in your shoes. She said, but your children and your grandchildren you just talk so highly of, if you test positive for meth for your probation officer, they can revoke you and essentially your children and grandchildren will not see you no more. That clicked in my head, Your Honor, and I have not used meth since January the 11th. And then after the first assessment over at the Fuller Life, they did not send me the link. That's like they were supposed to, is why I missed that appointment. And then the second link they sent me is when we had the ice storm. I was out of electricity for 4 days and my phone was dead. Is why I missed that second appointment with them. And it was all set up to go March the 9th. And then I got put in here on March the 4th. And where I tested clean positive on March the 4th before I come in here with Mr. Chase Collins. And also February 3rd or 6th, one at McKinney County.
wait, I can't understand a thing he's saying. Can't understand. I don't know whether it's the microphone or he's too close to it, whatever. So let's talk a little slower and just
Okay.
I can't follow what he's saying.
Yes, sir. Mr. Ruiz,
Okay.
if you can talk slower and louder.
Okay, I'll try my best, sir. I'm sorry. But so January the 11th was the last day that I did use mist. I will admit to that. And I can tell you 100% positive that's my last time because of what Miss Keisha said to me. She said that if I could be positive for my parole officer, I will not see my kids or my grandchildren. And that clicked with me, Your Honor, and I have not used mist since January the 11th. I went to my physical therapy. I got sick, and I was taking all kinds of over-the-counter medication for being sick. But on February 3rd, February 6th, Miss Meredith in Maycap County, Chase Collins performed a drug test on me. It come back clean. I done one February 16th for y'all over there. It was clean. You done one at me the day I got arrested over here, March 4th, Mr. Chase. Done that. I was clean.
Okay.
And yes,
Mr. Deweese, can you explain what happened when you were giving the urine test on 2/24?
the sample cup they gave me, it did not come from a freshly opened package. It was just laying in like a storage trash can in an unopened box, no plastic wrapping whatsoever. It was just a cup. And they gave me to put my sample into. And I did get argumentative with that over my sample. But as far as being argumentative with others, I did not mean to be. I was just asking questions.
I can't understand what he's saying. We're gonna have him brought here. I can't understand what he's saying. Here's the thing about it. He's saying he did this and did that, and all this kind of stuff back and forth. I need to get him, you'll get to cross-examine him in a second. I mean, does he say he didn't violate anything? Ask him what he did violate.
Best I can tell, he's saying he's had a clean test beside positive.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
And he denied use on.
that's just like saying somebody walked down the street for 10 days in a row and didn't shoot anybody, and then 3 days he did. I don't understand. I mean, is he denying, have him concentrate on the violations that he's accused of?
Yes,
Okay.
he is admitting to violating the urine test on January 12th. He is disputing the 2/24 because, in his opinion, he was not using a brand new sample cup.
Well, of course, I don't think he's not an expert in that. So, I mean, go ahead. What's the other stuff?
Your Honor, what I mean by that, if you can understand me, is the sample cup she gave me, it was already open. It was not in a package.
And then, Mr. Deweese, how did your conversation go with Miss Robbins at Fuller Life?
I thought it went wonderful. I mean, we was laughing and joking, cutting up, and I was there 45 minutes to an hour that day. And they done a drug test on me also that day. I do not know the results of them.
Your Honor, I think that's all the testimony we'll need from
Would you
Mr.
like to
Robbins.
cross?
I do not wish to.
Okay. You have any other witnesses?
No, sir.
Okay. You make your argument.
Yes, sir. Mr. Deweese was placed on 3 years probated for 5, Your Honor. His wife passed November of 24. He first used meth January of 25, which resulted in these charges. He is mid-50s, has not had any previous felonies that I'm aware of. He has never been to treatment greater than outpatient IOP. He currently has an ankle injury. That's why he's on crutches. He has a follow-up CT, I believe, the end of the month. He has a plate and screws and a boot on his ankle. We would be asking this court to not revoke his probation, allow him to get back out on IOP. I've had a conversation with Mr. Deweese. The allegation is that he's confrontational. I believe Mr. Deweese is inquisitive and curious, and that it can sometimes be taken as argumentative or authoritative or confrontational. I've advised Mr. Deweese that while he's on probation, he's going to have to mind his P's and Q's, Your Honor. So I would ask this court to not revoke him, give him the chance to get out on IOP. If the court is not willing to do that, allow him to do short-term treatment. He has never had treatment. He's mid-50s, has never done any treatment greater than outpatient or IOP. And so we would ask for some type of therapeutic response to this revocation, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I think the problem is, and one of the bases for revocation is, and I think there's two routes the court can go in this, either revoke his probation or send him to treatment, because he's proven that he's not amenable to being supervised by probation. He's had failed drug tests. He's failed to attend appointments. He's denied drug use when the lab's been positive and then saying they didn't do their procedures properly. He's been argumentative with the probation officer, with the SSC. They've had to assess him like 3 times over a 2-month period, and he wouldn't show up. So I just don't believe he's amenable to being supervised. It's very rarely that I file a motion to revoke after 2 positive meth tests, but it's not just the 2 positive meth tests. It's all this other garbage he's been putting these probation officers through in between. It's like he thinks he's their only case.
What was the original charge was just,
It's possession. It's a 3-year sentence. And this deal about him saying he wouldn't get to see his grandmother and I mean, his grandkids and stuff, if he's revoked on a 3-year sentence, he's going to be out in 60 to 90 days. It's not like it's
what
a big
about,
deal.
what about drug court?
I just don't think he can comply. If he can't comply with these probation officers,
I concur with what the Commonwealth has to say. This gentleman, I don't know him. He's argumentative. I mean, he's wanting to complain about the cup. I mean, does he think they have any that the cup would have made any difference?
He believes it was a contaminated cup here.
He believes that, but he believes he just is not subject to being compliant with any of these things and not showing up, that sort of thing. I mean, I don't know what else to do with him.
Your Honor, can I say one more thing?
See, now this is what I'm talking about. You be quiet. You're revoked. That's it. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're revoked. I'm not going to sit around and listen to what they have to listen to all the time and you be non-compliant and disrespectful. It does not work in this court. Okay.
Sorry, Your Honor. I wasn't trying to be.
Okay. You're finished. Take him away from the microphone.
Under Kentucky Revised Statutes Chapter 533, the court addressed probation revocation based on violations including continued drug use, failure to comply with treatment directives, and non-compliance with supervision conditions. The defendant, previously sentenced on a controlled substance offense, was subject to standard probation terms requiring abstinence, participation in substance abuse treatment, and cooperation with probation authorities. Evidence presented through probation testimony established multiple violations: confirmed positive drug tests for methamphetamine, failure to attend scheduled outpatient and intensive outpatient treatment, refusal to complete intake requirements, and repeated failure to report as directed. Additional findings included confrontational behavior and lack of cooperation, which the court considered relevant to supervision suitability. The defense raised issues regarding testing procedures and asserted partial compliance, including attendance at limited appointments and claims of cessation of drug use. However, the court determined that isolated compliance does not negate repeated violations, particularly where laboratory confirmation supports continued substance use. Pursuant to KRS 533.050 and related provisions, the court evaluated whether the defendant remained a suitable candidate for community supervision. Based on the pattern of noncompliance and failure to engage in treatment, the court found that continued probation would not achieve rehabilitation or ensure compliance. Accordingly, probation was revoked, and the defendant was remanded to custody to serve the underlying sentence.